The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Kimball achieved another major victory in the ongoing war against international drug trafficking when the crew intercepted and ultimately sank a suspected smuggling vessel in the eastern Pacific Ocean on April 17, 2025, marking the ship's fifth successful interdiction during its current patrol. The operation, which unfolded in international waters far from the American coastline, showcased the sophisticated multi-asset approach that has made the Coast Guard one of the most effective maritime law enforcement agencies in combating the flow of narcotics destined for U.S. shores. The Kimball, a 418-foot national security cutter designated WMSL 756, has been prowling the eastern Pacific for weeks as part of an intensified counter-narcotics campaign targeting the major maritime routes used by drug cartels to transport cocaine, heroin, and other illicit substances from South American production centers toward Central American and Mexican distribution networks. The vessel represents the pinnacle of Coast Guard maritime capability, equipped with state-of-the-art radar systems, long-range detection equipment, and helicopter facilities that allow the ship to project law enforcement power across vast ocean expanses where smugglers have traditionally operated with relative impunity. According to Coast Guard officials, the operation began when aerial surveillance assets detected suspicious activity in a remote section of the eastern Pacific known for heavy smuggling traffic. Maritime patrol aircraft, likely operating from forward bases in Central America or the Caribbean, identified a vessel exhibiting the telltale signs of drug trafficking operations, including unusual speed patterns, lack of proper identification markings, and navigation behavior designed to avoid detection. The intelligence was immediately relayed to the Kimball, which altered course to intercept the suspect craft. As the Kimball closed the distance, the crew launched their tactical response assets. The cutter's MH-65 Dolphin helicopter took to the skies, providing real-time surveillance and ensuring the suspect vessel could not escape the tightening net. Coast Guard officials have perfected these coordinated operations over years of counter-narcotics work, understanding that success requires seamless integration between ship-based crews, airborne observers, and specialized boarding teams trained in high-risk maritime law enforcement. The suspected smuggling vessel, described as a low-profile craft commonly used by drug trafficking organizations, attempted evasive maneuvers as the Kimball approached. These vessels, sometimes called go-fasts or semi-submersibles depending on their design, are specifically engineered to avoid radar detection and outrun pursuing ships. They typically feature powerful outboard engines, minimal superstructure, and are often painted blue or gray to blend with ocean waters. Smugglers favor these craft because they can carry multi-ton cocaine loads while presenting a minimal visual and electronic signature. When the Kimball's boarding team deployed, they executed a textbook interdiction. Highly trained Coast Guard law enforcement specialists, wearing tactical gear, and armed for their protection, approach the suspect vessel in rigid hull inflatable boats, capable of matching the speed and maneuverability of smuggling craft. The operation required split-second timing and coordination, as boarding teams must overcome both the challenges of open ocean conditions and the potential for violent resistance from desperate smugglers facing lengthy prison sentences. The boarding team successfully secured the vessel and its occupants without incident, demonstrating the professionalism and training that characterizes modern Coast Guard operations. Once aboard, investigators discovered substantial quantities of illegal narcotics, adding another significant seizure to the Kimball's impressive patrol record. The crew detained the suspects for processing and eventual transfer to federal authorities for prosecution under U.S. drug trafficking laws. With the contraband and suspects secured, the Kimball's crew faced a final decision regarding the smuggling vessel itself. After thorough documentation for evidentiary purposes and removal of all personnel and cargo, Coast Guard officials determined that the craft posed a hazard to navigation. Abandoned smuggling vessels create serious dangers for legitimate maritime traffic, potentially causing collisions with commercial ships, fishing vessels, or recreational craft. The derelict boats can drift for weeks or months, partially submerged and nearly invisible, creating floating obstacles in busy shipping lanes. The April 17th interception represented the Kimball's fifth successful drug bust during the current patrol, an extraordinary achievement that underscores both the prevalence of maritime drug smuggling and the effectiveness of sustained Coast Guard operations in high-traffic smuggling zones. Each interdiction removes tons of dangerous drugs from the supply chain, disrupts criminal networks, and saves lives in American communities ravaged by addiction. As the Kimball continues its patrol in the Eastern Pacific, the crew remains vigilant, knowing that countless other smuggling vessels are attempting to navigate these same waters. Their success sends a powerful message to international drug trafficking organizations. The Coast Guard's reach is long, their capabilities are formidable, and the Eastern Pacific is no longer a safe highway for illicit cargo.